After the remaining Barracuda members are cleared out, the party checks in on those who were attacked. Akane was knocked unconscious, but Hanawa and Wong were both shot and killed. Ichiban breaks down, believing that this was all of his fault, and Chitose begs for forgiveness. Hanawa's phone rings and Ichiban answers. He tells Kiryu everything that just happened and begs for his forgiveness, saying that he failed him. Kiryu tries to console him, letting him know anyone would fall for something so devious. He says guys like them have to push forward through the pain. He then asks to talk to Chitose, wanting to know what exactly Aiji had over her. She wants to explain more, but the police can be there any minute now. But she does say she has one thing she's been wanting to get off of her chest. Chitose reveals that she is Tatara, the VTuber that spread the false information on both Kiryu and Ichiban. She claims that it was Aiji who wrote the script on their videos, and she did the song and dance. Aiji and Ebina have been working together from the start, using Ichiban as a lure to hopefully reveal Akane's location. And to make sure that happened, both Aiji and Chitose were keeping tabs on him. Kiryu tells everyone that Sawashiro was in on it as well, but Ichiban doesn't believe it, as there's no way he would put Akane in danger after everything. Everyone is skeptical, but Ichiban continues to explain that Sawashiro was ready to go to prison for life for a murder he didn't commit so he could make amends. Why would he be doing this now? Focusing on the fact that Sawashiro even bowed to Ichiban when he asked him to meet Akane. Ichiban thinks Sawashiro may not be fully on board with Ebina's plan, and asks Kiryu's team to reach out to him once and for all. Kiryu makes plans to contact Sawashiro, but Psycho shows that she's clearly annoyed, saying that after everything Aiji did to Ichiban, he still believes in Sawashiro. Kiryu simply responds that maybe Ichiban sees something that they don't, telling Psycho that after all, isn't that one of his strengths? She doesn't know how to respond to that statement, but agrees, either way, Sawashiro is a good lead to figure out what's going on. Next, the party heads to the Survive Bar to meet with Jun and Zhao, and go over on how to approach Sawashiro. Zhao suggests to just straight call him, asking where he is. Kiryu gives it a shot, but the call didn't seem to go well. Sawashiro tells them if they want to talk, they have to head to the disposal warehouse, but he's surrounded by men. Sanhee picks up that if Sawashiro truly didn't want to talk to them, he would never have given them his location and warned the party of the danger. To her, it sounded like an SOS or a trap. Having no other options, the party chooses to follow through, with Zhao now joining the fight. Sawashiro waits for the party inside the warehouse. Once defeated, Sawashiro gets close to Kiryu and tells him he cannot talk here. He is being watched. Kiryu then drags him outside, and Sawashiro asks to be thrown in the water and tells him that they'll meet at Ichiban's place. Sawashiro awaits everyone disguised as a janitor. Kiryu wastes no time and asks Sawashiro who Ebina is to him. He explains that he found out Ebina's true motives after he sent Ichiban to Hawaii. Nanba wonders why Sawashiro is still continuing to work with him while Kane is in danger. Sawashiro reminds him that Ichiban is in Hawaii, and with her in his hands, things should be okay. And with him taking care of Akane, Sawashiro can focus on putting Ebina's fake plan into action, the second great dissolution. But he still needs to learn Ebina's true motive, as he is working with Palakana on dealing with nuclear waste. For 20 years, Palakana has been storing unwanted nuclear waste from around the world on Nele Island. Ebina's new wave of Yakuza are most likely being sent for loading and transport. But Sawashiro still believes Ebina isn't in it for the money and still has an ulterior motive, which is why he's sticking close. He asks for the Dragon of Dojima's support if Ebina's true plan subvert Arakawa's dream. Kiryu's saddened that after 4 years, all the work from the first dissolution was undone so quickly. Zhao comments that Japan isn't kind to those who make mistakes, so all these ex-Yakuza barely had any options. Kiryu tells himself, this is not how it was supposed to go. It's not what they planned. We cut back to Hawaii. Ichiban looks over Akane, begging for forgiveness. Yamai walks into the room annoyed by Ishiban's wallowing. He hits him with a crowbar and tells him to get back up. He says he doesn't care if Ichiban spends the rest of his time crying, but he reminds him that Kazuma Kiryu is still out there fighting, and Ichiban has failed him more than once already. Yamai's speech has an effect on Ichiban, and he snaps out of his despair, focusing on trying to find and save Lani. On the way out, Ichiban notices Chitose is missing. Tomizawa believes she probably ran, fearing retaliation for her betrayal. But Ichiban believes she must know she's still part of the team. But Tomizawa does comment that if she had given up Aiji a few minutes earlier, Wong and Hanawa would probably still be alive and Lonnie safe. Adachi agrees with Tomizawa that Chitose most likely ran away. Yamai walks up reporting Chitose stole a pistol and left the building half an hour ago. Adachi deduces that she's after Aiji on her own and must know where they may have taken Lonnie. While searching for Chitose, the Daidoji faction contact the party to meet them. In the meeting, they reveal that Japan's government made a backroom deal with Palakana to dispose of their unwanted waste, spurring more nuclear reactors to be created. But the Daidoji faction knows when a deal is too good to be true. They believe the waste disposal is not as secure as they claim, and the only ones who would know are Bryce and Ebina. Next, they bring up on what they found on Aiji. 5 years ago, Aiji was a political reporter until he was abruptly terminated. He was framed for vehicular assault by the Arakawa family, targeted because he had been digging up evidence on their corruption for some time. The Daidoji faction believes Joe Sawashiro was the one who set him up. Tomizawa relates to Aiji as his life was ruined in a similar way, all by some gangster or yakuza setting them up. After he lost his job, Aiji joined Bleach Japan and flourished, eventually running the Tokyo branch. Shiban wonders why Aiji's working with Ebina if he hates Yakuza so much, but the only way to really know is to ask Aiji himself. During the meeting, Ishiban receives a text from Chitose, a picture of a club. Tomizawa says the club is in Barracuda territory and is most likely Aiji's location. When they arrive, Ishiban receives a call from Chitose. She explains that Aiji is inside sitting at a VIP table. Wanting to make amends, she is planning to kill Aiji in a suicide mission, but thankfully, her friends are able to talk her out of it and have her wait for them to get inside to help. Once inside, Aiji notices the party immediately and has his thugs shoot a gun into the air to clear out the club, inviting Ishiban to come closer. After defeating his men, Aiji taunts the party, claiming that Lonnie's already dead, saying they had no chance as they did the deed ages ago. Ishiban screams at Aiji to stop fucking around, but he continues to toy with them. That's when Chitose sneaks in close, disguised as a waitress, and holds Aiji at gunpoint. She demands to know where Lonnie is, revealing she spied on Aiji and heard him talking to Bryce, expecting her arrival. He asks how she found his location, and she reveals back at the Daidoji faction, she planted a GPS tracker in his bags. Aiji begins to laugh, asking Ishiban if he hears what she is saying, and what type of person they're dealing with, calling Chitose a genius at manipulating and lying to people. He then calls for Lonnie to be brought in, but as she's being wheeled in, a Barracuda member uses the opening to sneak up on Chitose and slash her arm. Chitose narrowly escapes being killed and makes it to the rest of the party. Adachi tries to stop the bleeding, and a fight breaks out to save Lonnie.
Lonnie!
Come on!
This way!
Lonnie!
So persistent.
Hey-chan, she's just a little girl!
I'm still H-on to you? Don't you understand at all? We were both lying to each other. Everything was an act. I was the poor kid in a chair, and you were a Yakuza with a human soul. Okay, Kasuga-san can have her. He's fought so hard. Take this too. They come in a set. Oh, don't squirm like that. These things explode upon impact. You better stay still. There we go. You can relax now. Lonnie-chan's all yours. Well, Bryce might be mad, but he was only going to kill her anyway. This is more efficient in the long run.
Please don't do this! Hey-chan!
I already told you. That's not my name. There's never been a bigger sucker. Oh, it's not a bomb, you imbeciles. It doesn't detonate on impact. This is what sets it off.
It's tear gas! Damn it!
Lonnie, up here!
How tenacious. Wrong way, though.
Hey-chan! Lonnie! Hey-chan! Damn it! Hey-chan!
We-ho. Kasuga-san.
After losing Lonnie again, the party gathers up to figure out what to do next. Chitose begs for forgiveness, even though she doesn't believe she deserves it, saying that Aiji had her bent over a barrel, and she knew eventually Akane and Lonnie would have to pay for it. Ichiban asks her to let them know everything about Aiji, Ebina, and the Tatara channel. About 3 years ago, Aiji offered funds to increase viewership to Chitose's small streaming channel. Originally, the channel was Chitose's escape from her family, a place where she could truly be herself. But when a Fujinomiya tanker sank, killing 20 people, things changed. Her father tried to cover up the incident, and Chitose tried to take it upon herself to reveal the truth. That is when Aiji tracked down Chitose, and after the two met up, Aiji used his reporting skills to write a script to reveal the Fujinomiya's crimes. Afterwards, Chitose's father told her to move to Hawaii during the scandal to wait for things to cool down. She says she had a lot of respect for Aiji at the time, and even saw him as some sort of hero. After the Fujinomiya incident, the two operated on the channel jointly these past 3 years, focused on revealing the truth to the public. Aiji was an incredible reporter and never missed his mark on their call-out videos. But little by little, Chitose noticed Aiji's script going off the rails. They began to focus on ruining the lives of reformed criminals like Yakuza. Chitose wanted to leave, but Aiji threatened to reveal her true identity to the public, or worse, with Ebina's help. Aiji was the one who had Chitose pose as a housemaid to get in with Ichiban, but instead, she had him robbed and arrested, believing it would be a better alternative. But then Kiryu got involved, so at District 5, Aiji gave her one more chance to infiltrate Ichiban's group, leading to where we are now. After hearing the whole story, Tomizawa asks one last time if there's anything else Chitose is leaving out. She swears she's told them everything, but Tomizawa's acting skeptical, saying a born traitor will stab you in the back again and again. Ichiban agrees that traitors can't really be trusted, and Chitose looks as though her heart is about to break, until Ichiban jokingly says Tomizawa did betray Yamai, so he finds it funny that all this is coming from him. Tomizawa laughs, appreciating Ichiban picked up the hint. Ichiban forgives Chitose and vows to see this journey through to its end, asking the rest if they'll follow him. The party agrees, and they drink to their reunion. Next, the party focuses on finding the location of Nele Island and head back to Yamai's base to ask Akane. But Yamai's headquarters are being assaulted by hordes of Barracuda men. Thankfully, with Ichiban's party's help, they're able to fight their way through and retake Yamai's headquarters. Once things clear up, Yamai brings Akane to Ichiban. He apologizes for losing Lonnie during the attack and asks if she has any information on Nele Island. Sadly, it's a dead end, as only a select few were privy to that information. He tells her it's okay and asks her to get somewhere safe, and he begins to head out to try and find Lonnie. But Yamai notices Akane wants to say something and tells Ichiban to slow down. Ichiban's confused and in a rush, but Yamai reminds them that they need to talk to each other now, as who knows what will happen. Best thing is to say their piece now.
All this time, we haven't had a chance to speak. There are things I'd like to say.
Me too. Yamai was, right about that.
Sawashiro-san wrote me letters. I actually know quite a bit about you. Shangri-La's manager took you in as a baby. Kamurocho folks looked after you growing up. By middle school, you were a hellion. Fighting must have come naturally to you.
Well, wait a sec. Things back then, I made a lot of mistakes. Hey, if Captain Sawashiro told you all that, does that mean he kept tabs on me as a kid?
Sawashiro-san always had an eye on you, for my sake. But then... you called Masumi-san for help one day. Almost like... it was fate.
I don't know if I believe in fate. I'm sure grateful it happened that way, though.
I know what happened to you after all that. They had you take the blame for a murder. 18 years. So much lost time.
Akane-san.
The skin's gone tough. You've been fighting for so long.
No, it's not how you think.
Forgive me. I left you and Masumi-san alone. I was scared and ran away. I'm sorry. With all my heart, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me, Akane-san. There's nothing to be sorry for. Of course, I had tough times now and then. You wouldn't believe what Captain Sawashiro put me through. So yeah, maybe I've had a pretty crazy life, all things considered. Know what, though? Everyone else has too. Akane-san, we all deal with life as it comes. You did, and I still got to meet you. What more could I ask for? Like you said, I always had people looking out for me. And the boss was the best father in the world. Honestly, I'm so lucky. Look, Akane-san, truth be told, I don't know for sure if you gave birth to me or... you know what I mean? But if it was you, then I've only got one thing to say. You gave me my life. I'm very grateful.
Ichiban. I'm grateful too. Thank you. How strange.
What?
Just now, I saw Masumi-san standing where you are.
Oh, come on. You know that's the best compliment I can imagine, right? Hey, that's right. I remember now. Here, Akane-san. I came here to give you this. Boss's, Masumi Arakawa's remains. I'd like you to have them.
Thank you. Thank you. I've missed you, Masumi-san.
Back in Japan, Kiryu makes a trip to find the last remaining members who started the first Great Dissolution, Daigo Dojima, Taiga Saijima, and Goro Majima. His goal is to find out what happened after the first dissolution and figure out how it fell apart so quickly. From what they reveal, the three made a security company Sotenbori to take in as many ex-Yakuza as possible and help them through the 5-year ex-Yakuza clause. Things were going well until about a year in. The Tatara channel did a feature on the company, digging up many of the employees' past. Also, the backroom deals Daigo made with the media and higher-ups so that his company would look better in the public eye. After the accusations, the government and all their clientele abandoned them. Inside, the employees longed for the old days and even hoped Daigo would revive the Tojo clan, so the three went off the grid, believing them staying out of it would keep the Great Dissolution alive. But sometime later, Ebina appeared, taking on their cause and working on the second Great Dissolution. He had reached out to the three, but they never replied. So instead, Joe Sawashiro took their place as someone who could rein in the Yakuza. Curious who he was, a background check was conducted on Ebina. He was raised by a single mother who died while he was in middle school. Afterwards, his family name was changed. His previous family name was Hikawa, the same Hikawa family that Masumi Arakawa wiped out many years ago. From what Daigo gathers, Masumi was engaged to Ebina's mother while in love with Akane, making Masumi most likely Ebina's father. Judging by when Ebina was born, it was unlikely that Arakawa knew about Ebina's mother's pregnancy. From her perspective, Arakawa killed her father and abandoned her son, leaving them completely alone. Daigo wonders if all that hatred and spite was passed down to Ebina from his mother. It's most likely Ebina doesn't want the Great Dissolution to succeed, as it was Arakawa's greatest dream. Kiryu asks the three to help Sawashiro with the second Great Dissolution, believing if they make an appearance, it will make the other Yakuza follow behind, taking away all of Ebina's power. But the three want to stay out of the light, believing that their interference would cause more harm than good. Kiryu's disappointed in their answer, thinking that they're just running away and not taking responsibility. This infuriates the three legendary Yakuza, and the brawl breaks out. After the fight, Kiryu has the last few words for his friends.
Be straight with me. What are you all so afraid of? Are you scared of screwing up people's lives? Or maybe you just don't want to fail again. Whatever the reason, you'll never know if you don't try.
You act like it's so simple. Say we do try. What happens if it all goes to hell again, huh?
If that day comes, you keep on pushing through. Long as you're breathing, keep moving, keep trying, and figure it out.
There you go again. Always the hero.
Say what you want. It's the only way I know. Besides, this is the last time. Anyway, I'm gone. You won't be hearing from me again.
Wait. Don't go. Kiryu-san, I get that you don't have a lot of time left. Still, it's not worth it. That's no reason for you to run off and get yourself killed.
You're wrong, Daigo.
What?
Honestly, it's a weight off my shoulders. My death's finally worth a damn.
Kiryu, what are you saying?
I'm the same as you guys. I've screwed up more lives than I can count at this point. Not to mention, I'm a Yakuza. I haven't exactly lived a life that I can be proud of. Yet even then, through it all, I'm somehow still here. So that's it. The Yakuza have made a huge mess for themselves. Once I grab hold, I am taking it with me.
You're talking out of your ass, Kiryu. That's no excuse to...
Wait till things settle down. Come then, Kasuga's gonna need your help. The Yakuza have one chance. Their future depends on him.
Don't you leave. Don't you dare leave! Kiryu-chan!
You know, it's funny. I came to ask you guys for help. But maybe all I wanted was one last fight.
Afterwards, Kiryu's party heads to the Tojo clan headquarters. Tatara announced that there would be a live stream at the location, with a huge announcement for the Kiryu clan. While outside the headquarters, the party watches. During the live stream, Ebina and Sawashiro announced their plans to work with Palakana so that they can solve Japan's nuclear waste problem and, at the same time, find work for all the ex-Yakuza members to reintegrate them into society. As a final announcement, Ebina dissolves the Kiryu clan and reform themselves as a non-profit Bleach Japan. After the stream's over, Kiryu's party heads inside to get answers, but it's revealed to be a trap, as the live stream is actually pre-recorded. Ebina and Sawashiro are nowhere to be seen. Back in Hawaii, Ichiban and his party follow multiple leads to try and find Nele Island, but at every turn, Bryce is one step ahead of them. While recovering, Ichiban gets a hunch that Lonnie may still be in Honolulu, as why else would Bryce be so aggressive, sending so many goons after them? That is when Jun Gihan arrives to confirm Ichiban's story. Jun has been in Hawaii for 2 days now, trying to find Nele Island's means of transportation. Using hacked satellite imagery, Jun tracked down the boat to Honolulu, but lost tracking once it reached the island. In order to load up the boat, there must be an underground or hidden passageway, but so far he's had no luck finding it. But Chitose remembers the underground pathways in District 5. When she was there was a separate section she didn't have access to. Since Bryce owns the Barracudas as well, that's most likely where the port is located. Her hunch is correct, as the party makes their way through District 5 and find the hidden port, arriving to Dwight trying to load Lonnie onto the cargo boat, as Bryce ordered for her to be taken to him alive. Meanwhile, Lonnie finds an opportunity to bite Dwight and escape his grasp, and a fight breaks out. After Dwight's defeated, Ichiban makes sure Lonnie's okay and takes her back to Yamai's base, reuniting Akane and Lonnie. Morale's improved significantly, but there's still the problem of getting Akane and Lonnie out of Hawaii, because it's just a matter of time before Bryce has Yamai's headquarters attacked again. The party's fresh out of ideas, until Yamai walks into the room. He offers to use his boat to take them off the mainland. From there, Japan's Coast Guard would fly them back to Japan, saying that it's all been set up. Chitose is skeptical as it sounds way too simple, and she wants more details, but Yamai simply says it's a take it or leave it deal. Ichiban doesn't see any other options, and Yamai's already earned his trust, saying the two of them are very much alike, people who take on the load for others. Yamai scowls at Ichiban's comment and tells the party that they'll head out tomorrow. On the boat ride away from the mainland, the party is harassed by Dwight and his men trying to get to Lonnie one last time, but things take a turn when a third party enters the fight. A pack of man-eating sharks attack both groups in the middle of their fight. Ichiban's party is able to survive the onslaught of barracudas and man-eating sharks. Tomizawa regrets not killing Dwight when he had the chance, but it's too late for Dwight, as he's failed Bryce one too many times. He jumps into his boat, attempting to make an escape, but his boat is attacked in the distance by a giant shark. Next, we cut to the party making it to Japanese soil. When they arrive, Detective Date and a police officer are waiting. It's revealed that in order to get the Coast Guard to fly everyone in, Yamai turned himself in for the murder of his patriarch 30 years ago. Tomizawa can't believe what he's hearing, and Yamai replies telling him not to look at him that way. He is simply just an old criminal, tired of hiding. But as Yamai is about to be taken in, he knocks Date down and makes a run for it. The other officer is about to give chase, but Tomizawa begs him to stop. He says he knows Yamai, and he isn't one to run away from responsibility, and there must be something else going on. He asks the officers to give him time to bring him back before things escalate further. Ichiban agrees, as he feels as though he owes Yamai too much. Date is skeptical, but he takes his old friend Adachi's word that his two companions are a good bet. Date suggests that Yamai most likely went to see Yui Tabata, the patriarch's widow, and the woman who turned in Yamai, saying he assaulted her. After asking around, the party finds Yui's and Yamai's location. Yamai stands over Yui, shaking in anger. It's revealed 30 years ago Yui fell in love with the captain of their clan. Knowing Yamai was madly in love with her, she used him to kill her husband. And as soon as her husband was dead, Yui ripped her clothes and ran out the room, yelling that Yamai killed the boss and assaulted her, labeling him a traitor and forcing him to go into hiding all this time. Yamai had planned on getting revenge, but when he saw Yui again, there was nothing romantic left. Yui was now 57 and had Alzheimer's. She didn't even know who Yamai was anymore. Now able to let go of the past, Yamai walks back with the party and turns himself in. Next, both teams meet up at the Ijincho homeless camp, using it to hide from the media, now at their heels ever since Kiryu was caught assaulting the Tojo clan building. Ebina calls Ichiban to taunt him and let everyone know that the government has approved his waste disposal plan. He also lets him know that he caught a rat, revealing that he's taken Joe Sawashiro hostage. Kiryu asks Ebina what he wants, and he simply says he's taken Joe hostage to reel them in, telling the party to meet him at the Millennium Tower tomorrow or he will die. Everyone talks things through on what they should do next, but Songhi reveals that the first wave of Yakuza to be rehabilitated arrived at Honolulu. Next, the ship will go to Nele Island, and once they set foot on that island, the Japanese government or the state of Hawaii won't care what happens to them next, giving Bryce a mountain of slaves to dump nuclear waste till the day they die. The call is made to split the group again. Ichiban focused on Bryce, and Kiryu focused on Ebina. But before they move forward, Kiryu asks to talk to Ichiban one-on-one. He reveals that Ebina may be Ichiban's half-brother, and he feels partially responsible how he turned out after the Ikawa family fell apart, as tales like Ebina's were not uncommon in the Yakuza world. When Kiryu was the fourth chairman, he had a chance to change the Yakuza for the better, but he chose a different path instead. He wants to stop Ebina before he strays past the point of no return. He says he'll take the Yakuza's past on himself, but he wants Ichiban to handle their future. Ichiban accepts his request on one condition, that Kiryu fights to continue on living. Afterwards, Kiryu asks Ichiban about Saiko and what he said to her. Kiryu figures out that Ichiban proposed to her with very few words. Ichiban then asks what Kiryu did when he proposed to someone, and he simply replies that he told her that he loved her. Ichiban thinks for a bit until he realizes something and screams out in pain, calling himself such a dumbass. Now realizing he never told Saiko that he loved her. During the calm before the storm, everyone takes time to relax and have fun as they wait for the day ahead. That same night, Ichiban has a chance to talk to Saiko, letting her know after everything's over that they should talk to each other, and she agrees. Chitose sneaks out the camp for some unknown reason, but lets Kiryu know that she'll be back in the morning before they head back to Hawaii. The next day, Ichiban's party heads back to Hawaii, using the Daidoji faction's help. After taking a boat ride and fighting off Bryce's giant pet shark, the assault on Nele Island begins. Their goal is to capture Bryce and shut down his operation. And secondly, they want to figure out the truth behind the nuclear waste disposal business. During the assault, the party meets the locals, regular men, women, and children. But after they try to burn the party alive, it's clear that they're brainwashed by Bryce as well. Thankfully, Chitose is able to figure out that Wong's son is being held captive nearby and confirms he's alive. Next, they witness the Haku warriors murdering each other in ritual sacrifice to test their faith. Afterwards, the party gets access to an elevator leading deep down below the surface. June believes that in order to store all this toxic waste, the cavern must be enormous. And further in, it's revealed that the disposal facility might as well be a hole in the ground. Nothing official or safe about it. Clearly, Bryce never cared about what happened to the island or the surrounding ocean. At the cavern center stands Bryce surrounded by his Palakana warriors. For what Palakana used to stand for when it took care of people like Akane and Tomizawa, Ichiban and his party vow to take it back from him. Once he's defeated, Ichiban plans to expose Bryce's disposal area and reveal the truth of it to the world. He just laughs, saying too many countries are involved, and he doubts any of them would sell him out. But Chitose steps in and starts a Tatara live stream. She shows the world the state of the disposal facility and interviews her father, asking him to take action and responsibility, solidifying Bryce's downfall, as there would be no way to hide this now. Before she left Japan, Chitose spoke to her family and revealed everything that happened, causing a huge fight, but thankfully she was able to talk sense into her father, convincing him that it's not all about legacy and money. And for Chitose's final trick, she reveals her true identity to the world and apologizes for the fake information her channel spread. She then thanks Ichiban for everything, as he gave her the courage to finally face her family and herself. Ichiban is proud of his companion, telling her she's incredible. Back in Japan, Kiryu and his team are successful in fighting their way to the top of the Millennium Tower, where Ebina awaits. When they arrive, Kiryu asks where Sawashiro is, and Ebina taunts the party by spinning the chair around to reveal Sawashiro at death's door, badly beaten. He asks why everyone is so horrified, as Sawashiro and his fellow Yakuza have done the same to countless others. Sanhi asks why he hates the Yakuza so much, and Ebina confirms their suspicions, that he is indeed Masumi Arakawa's son. He reflects on his life, remembering all the Yakuza who abandoned his mother after Hikawa died, scattering to the wind. But even on his mother's deathbed, she begged her son to not hate her father and those who caused their suffering. Everything he's done since then was to make the Yakuza pay. Kiryu can't deny Ebina's hatred, promising to end this madness once and for all, taking on the sins of the Yakuza as his own, and the final battle for the soul of the Yakuza begins.
Let's finish this!
That's enough now. Why don't we finish this?
Yeah.
Kiryu-san!
He's incredible. What's wrong? You're not gonna kill me?
Kiryu-san!
This is your problem. It's why the Yakuza keep rearing their ugly heads. The lot of you. Whether you retire, whether you disband, you always come crawling back. You're a Yakuza through and through, and you can't erase that no matter what. You'll say sorry again and again, and then find some way to justify it. The bigger the Yakuza, the bigger and better the future they promise, all so they can keep on fighting. If you let me live, how long before I too come crawling back? You may have put things on hold for now, but someone can pick up the pieces. Rid the world of your filth. If not me, then someone else. The country's elite demand it. They were counting on me to see it through. If you don't finish me off, the future stays the same. I'll still make an example of the Yakuza one way or another. If you truly want them all to break free and find their place in this world, then hurry up and put an end to this before it's too late! I've lived in the twilight of the Yakuza all my life! You get rid of me, or I will keep cutting back! Do you understand, Kazuma Kiryu?
Ebina. Nothing I say would ever be enough, and I've no right to try. The hate you have for Arakawa, for Ikawa, the crush you've carried, I get it. But please, I beg you, for their sake, give them the chance to atone. There's one way to do that. We all have to live on. Whether you're scum or not. That doesn't matter. You can't change a thing if you're dead. All of us, we have to keep going. And it's not light, nor is it dark. It's the grayest road there is. So please, Ebina, please, you have to live. You have to keep moving. I'm asking you, please don't kill them. Please. I'll apologize. I know it won't make up for any of this. But I'm sorry. Forgive me.
No!
Kiryu-san!
Stay with us, Kiryu-san!
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 Open your damn eyes, Kiryu!
Kiryu-san!
Don't die! You can't die! Kiryu!
We cut to Ichiban a day later, finding Aishi hiding in his room in Japan. He's badly hurt and clearly hiding from a mob outside. Ichiban explains that it's not only the mob, but all Yakuza that know Aiji was involved with Ebina's plan want his head on a plate. Aiji screams at Ichiban asking what he wants with him. Ichiban asks Aiji to turn himself in, as he won't last long while on the run. He will surely be killed eventually, and he also wants him to give him the chance to atone, and once he's done serving his time, he wants the two of them to head back to Hawaii, as he's not able to let go of the fun memories the two of them had while there. Even after everything, Ichiban is still choosing to call Aiji his friend. Aiji is unable to understand how Ichiban could feel that way, as he was a horrible monster to him, and Ichiban replies that he can't take those choices back or run away from them. Just like with Masato, he tells Aiji that he can always start over and crawl back out from the darkness, and that he'll be with them every step of the way, no matter how long it takes. If it were anyone else, there would be no way Aiji would believe him, but he knows Ichiban is speaking the truth, saying he's as rare as they come, and grateful that he was able to meet him. Ichiban carries Aiji on his back to the police station, as overhead, an ambulance chopper picks up Kiryu from the Millennium Tower.
Kasuga-san, please. It's all my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. I'm used to this kind of thing. Besides, if they want to hate, I say let them. The hell should either of us care? We know where you're at. Your heart's in the right place, that's all that matters. That said, if you ever feel down, or even a little lost, by all means, Give me a ring. I'll hear you out. I mean, what are friends for, right?
もしも彼らが君の何かを盗んだとしてそれはくだらないものだよ返してもらうまでもないはずなぜなら勝つは命に従ってついてるほらね君には富が
Hey, Mom. How come Grandpa isn't here?
It's okay, Haruto. If I know him, we'll see him soon. I know we will.
Hello. You're the inpatient with the 11 a.m. this morning, is that correct? If you would, could you please provide your full name, sir?
It's Kiryu. Kazuma Kiryu.